Alright guys, I'm back with my review of this week's episode of American Horror Story Asylum, Episode 2, Tricks and Treats. And I actually liked this episode a lot more than I liked the premiere episode. I felt like in the premiere episode they tried to do a little too much. You had the aliens, you had Bloody Face, the doctor and his mysterious creatures he's been feeding in the woods. He's stealing patients and testing them and all types of stuff happening. And here there was a lot going on, but on a smaller scale. The main focus of this episode was the exorcism, which I thought was very well done. It was a great exorcism scene, with priest flying across the room and all types of stuff happening. So I did enjoy this week's episode, and it's got me excited for this season. And the show starts off with the Maroon 5 guy and his wife, who ran into Bloody Face at the end of last week's episode. So she's running from Bloody Face. She gets back to her husband. She's trying to drag him. Bloody Face shows up. So she hides in the room where he got his arm ripped off. And while she's in here, she's watching from the food slot. And she sees Bloody Face just kill the Maroon 5 guy. So he's out. And it was a great way to start the episode. And then it cuts back to 1964. And we see the reporter's girlfriend. She's taking a shower. She goes to close a window. And Bloody Face shows up there. So that was interesting. And then we're back at the asylum. And they're doing a room search. And Sister Jude finds these notes in the reporter's room. She's been keeping track of the treatment she's received. And I'm just thinking she hasn't seen anything yet. It's just stuff about showers or something. I can't remember. But Sister Jude takes the notes and the reporter says, "That's fine, I have an excellent memory." So Sister Jude goes and sees the doctor and signs her up for electroshock therapy. And they perform this on her. And I know I'm supposed to feel sorry for the reporter, but I don't. I actually am kind of rooting for Sister Jude here. I find the reporter to be a very annoying character. And especially with what happens at the end of this episode with her, Kit, and Grace and everything, I'm definitely just not rooting for the reporter to escape or anything. I'm thinking send her back for more electroshock therapy. So a psychiatrist shows up to talk to Kit, and he tells the psychiatrist about the aliens that took his wife, so of course he thinks he's insane. The doctor goes and feeds a candy apple to the nun. It's the nun that always follows Sister Jude around everywhere. She's an assistant to the doctor. And the only reason I thought this was worth noting is because he was very adamant that she eat this. And I don't know if it's going to lead to something. I don't know if it was supposed to be poisoned or if she is going to turn into one of those creatures in the woods. Or maybe it's just there to make the doctor look really creepy. I don't know. But I did think it was a very strange scene because it did last a little while. And he was just very adamant that she eat this candy apple. Of course, more stuff happens to her later. So the psychiatrist confronts Sister Jude about the treatment of some of the patients, the electroshock, the canings, things like that. And she basically tells him to mind his own business. So she goes to interview the parents of a potential patient. And he kind of just barges in and tries to take over. And of course, this is them butting heads. And the parents tell the doctor and Sister Jude about their son who ate the heart of a cow. And he's been acting very strange. So they go to see their son, and he's clearly possessed. And Sister Jude recognizes this instantly. She knows he's possessed. The psychiatrist wants to do some tests on him or something. She says, "No, we're going to get the priest in here." So back at the reporter, she tells Grace that she knows a way out of the asylum. And Grace can come with her, and Grace only wants to go if Kit can go, and the reporter says, "No way, I'm not taking that killer back out of this place. I'm not going to have him run out and kill some more women." So she really doesn't want Kit to go. And Grace is against this. She doesn't think Kit's a killer. We see the nympho offer the doctor sex in order to get some time in the sun, but he turns her down. And this episode really did try to make the doctor look creepy. And he is. He actually hires a prostitute later and has her dress like a nun. And then he tries to rape her, but she actually escapes. So that's really the only thing here. He's doing all types of other crazy stuff. He's feeding these weird creatures and kidnapping patients. But in this episode, they're really just establishing him as a slimy, creepy villain type guy. And I thought they did a good job with that. No need to go into all the other stuff. I mean, just keep it simple. So, Sister Jude is trying to help in performing this exorcism. And they tell her to leave, that she's a woman, she shouldn't be here. So she leaves, and of course we know how Constance is from season 1. So she's not happy about this. So she goes and sits with the parents. And while they're performing the exorcism, the priest gets thrown across the room, so the rest of them take him to the infirmary. And they have Sister Jude come back in to watch over the possessed boy. And while she's in there, the demon starts telling her things about herself. We kind of find out more about Sister Jude's character. She apparently was drinking and driving one night and hit a small child and killed her and just drove off. So we're finding out a little bit more about her. And she goes crazy. She starts slapping the boy. The priests come back in. They continue to perform the exorcism. And the demon actually kills the boy. He dies. And then it jumps into the nun's body. The nun who ate the candy apple. Now the rest of them don't know she's possessed. But we all know that. They think she just fainted. So there's a blackout in the asylum. All the patient cells open up. And the reporter and Grace try to escape. Kit shows up and tries to come with them. The reporter says no. So Grace says, well, me and Kit are just going to go off on our own. And as they try to leave, the reporter freaks out and says, he's trying to escape. And I'm just thinking, you ass. So, of course, the security guards show up, beat the crap out of Kit. The next thing we see, Sister Jude has the reporter come into her office. And as a reward, she doesn't get punished, but she has to watch Grace and Kit get caned. And before she canes them, Kit says it was all me. Grace had nothing to do with it. And instead of 20 lashes, he's got to take on Grace's. So now Kit gets 40 lashes. And that was it. That was the end of the episode. So the reporter is, yeah, she's going to be a very annoying character. I know that. But I also think there could be some type of twist here. I really don't think Kit is Bloody Face. I mean, we saw the reporter's girlfriend see the real Bloody Face. And I know some people were thinking maybe he is Bloody Face, but I don't think so. And I do think aliens were involved, as crazy as that sounds, and as out of place as it is in a show like this. He did have that thing come out of his neck. That was some alien stuff there. So, it was a good episode. I'm looking forward to next week's episode. So anyway, that's my review of this week's episode of American Horror Story Asylum. Hope you guys liked this video. Leave your thoughts on this week's episode in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Bye.